Hello, everyone, and welcome to By Design with Dr. Erika. Today on our show, I am joined by the amazing Tasha Hunter. Tasha is an Air Force veteran, a licensed clinical social worker, and an author, and she has her own private practice in North Carolina.
Yep.
Okay. Side note. Anyway, her own private practice in North Carolina, Ascension Growth Center, where she specializes in the treatment of childhood trauma related to PTSD, depression, and anxiety. And she also does speaking engagements. So she is a busy lady. So we are excited to have her here to chat with us. Tasha, welcome to the show.
Thank you so much.
I'm so excited to have you here, especially like I say, a local girl here in North Carolina.
Yeah.
Now, as I was reading your bio, I was looking or listening to myself, and you have a very interesting journey, starting in the Air Force and now transitioning over to social work. How did that happen? Was that something you planned to do?
Oh, absolutely. I had I was in the Air Force for 10 years.
Oh, thank you.
After the Air Force, I worked in HR for 2.5 years and discovered, oh my goodness, this is not it. Pay, benefits, 401k, retirement stuff, workers' compensation. No, 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 that's not it for me.
Mm.
And
What was
so
missing? What was missing?
just each day I kept thinking, whether it was even in the Air Force, I went to the Air Force as a way to escape childhood trauma. I didn't go because, ooh, patriotism. I went to escape a situation. And we different people come in for different reasons, in the military. For
Oh.
me, it was just a form of escape. That was it. And it served its purpose and paid for 5 college degrees. Thank you, military. And
Wait,
so
wait, hold up. We just can't slide past that. 5 college degrees. Wait, just drop them for me because I want to know.
so two associate's degrees, one in logistics readiness, one in healthcare administration and associates, bachelor's degree in human resource management, master's degree in public administration, a master's degree in social work.
Yes. Okay. Get it.
They took
Okay.
care of me.
Yeah.
Yep. So no student loans.
That's amazing.
So if nothing else, and I got a lot out of it, I got a lot of my schooling paid for.
Mm-hmm.
This next degree, it'll be on me, and I that's fine. I'm good
Right.
with that.
Right.
So anyhow, so I left the military, worked in human resource management. Then I got a call, and my one of my old supervisors, she said, Tasha, you want to come back and work for the military? And I was like, yeah, what's the job? And she said, a patient safety manager. I was like, I don't even know what that is, but sign me up.
Why not?
And so there's so many components to that whole journey as well. Part of my job I spent 8 years, and part of that job was investigating medical errors and every suicide that happened in the military at Seymour Johnson Air Force Base here in North Carolina.
Mm.
Every suicide came to my desk. Look into this. Why did this happen? Look at the person's history, their records. Did the military, could we have prevented it in some way?
Mm.
Could we have done something to save a life? So for 8 years, that's what I did.
Okay.
And was a part of the executive committee, but I still didn't feel like, I knew that my life had purpose, but it wasn't enough.
Mm.
And I wanted to touch people prior to them getting to that point.
Gotcha.
And so, and in the military mental health system, my experience was, although mental health is supposed to be confidential, it's supposed to be private and confidential, not in the military, because you belong to the government.
Mm.
And I kept sitting in these meetings, and we would be talking about people's mental health. I was not in the mental health field. And I was like, I want a place that really is private and confidential,
Mm-hmm.
where people can come and they can take off their armor. I'm not looking at their rank.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not concerned about their career trajectory and whether they're mentally fit, whether they can complete the mission. And I want them to be able to come to my office and rest.
Mm.
Just rest, and know that you are safe here. And so I was in therapy at the time.
Uh-huh.
My therapist, because I had really poor toxic relationship habits, I was the fixer, the helper for everybody in my life. She said, girl, you do my job and you do it for free. I was everybody's therapist.
That's how it always seems to be. Like what you are meant to do, you just naturally do. And you're like, why would somebody pay me for this? Like,
Yes.
this is who I am.
And I was like, I could be a therapist? Well, okay. And that's all it took. I'm really good at listening to people. I'm really good at leaning into like whatever my purpose is. If I feel like it's a God sign, I'm really good at honing in on that. Okay, that may be a thing. And so through therapy, literally, I was able to process all of that. And I went back after some time and applied to get my MSW with Fayetteville State University. Okay. So that's the short of a very long, story.
Right. No, that's great, because a lot of people, they would hear that message, like you should be doing X, and they would kind of ignore it or think that it's not true. And that makes the time frame of where you are to where you should be or where you could be even longer. But it sounds like you just did it immediately, which is something that I wish I could have done.
Yeah, I did. There was, and I don't remember the words of the exact quote, but something like it had something to do with people that die, something about the cemetery and all of the lost goals and dreams that are there, the lost potential, the lost purpose. And I don't remember the exact phrasing, but let me just tell you that, Erika, that stayed with me.
Yeah, I've heard that one. It's like, where's the richest place on earth? It's the graveyard.
Yeah.
That's powerful.
It is. And it like rent space in my brain. It's just there. I don't know, not rent space, it's rent free in my brain. And I will not die without fulfilling my purpose.
Yeah.
So I literally every day I lean into, what's my next step? That's what I do.
Gotcha. Was there, you make it sound very easy. It wasn't easy. What was the biggest challenge in sort of going from military, patient safety and suicide to saying, I want to do something that's more purposeful, that's more geared to who I am?
Number one was mindset. Can I? Do I have what it takes within me to help somebody else? Can I really be a therapist? Because I had an amazing therapist at the time. Can I do that? And I'm very unconventional. I'm kind of a rebel. I have to do things my own way. I don't really want to do it the way that other people, but can I do it? Can I be impactful? I worried. Also, because I had joined the military at 18, I'm a military spouse, I'm a veteran, I've been a military contractor, 20 years of working in the military or government. Those 2.5 years working in HR, I was working in state government. I'm used to a paycheck.
Girl, let me tell you. Woo.
I'm used to the 1st and the 15th or the last day of the month or whatever. Being able to predict my bills and say, okay, I know the money's dropping into my account on this day. And so I need to get all my bills paid by this time. And just being able to predict that was important. So going to get my MSW, which was unlike any other, my master's degree was a breeze in public administration, a breeze. Didn't cost me anything, had a little bit of time. I did it on the weekends, but there wasn't a financial component to, you have to quit your job. Well, with an MSW, you have to quit your job. So I'm working in patient safety, a job that was comfortable, but was not fulfilling.
Right.
And I'm on the executive team. I've got my seat at the table. I'm training hundreds, thousands of people in patient safety and discussing suicide, medical errors, and all of these different things. And I'm in this program and I get to a point where they're like, well, where do you want to do your internship? And, like, what's your plan? And then I have to, they're like, well, you have to do your internship 2 days a week and then 3 days a week at a different point. And I can't work. So that was the first thing I worried about, Erika, is how am I going to do this? And so I always say that anybody that is in this career field, it's a very privileged career. So shout out to every single person that is a coach that did not have to quit your job, that did not have to say goodbye to this form of income to do this thing. And that is why I love the, just this whole newness of everybody becoming a coach, because it dismantles this, what I call is it, this form of oppression or whatever that is steeped in white supremacy, having to quit your job, this privilege. Many of us, people of color, we can't just quit a job. Yeah. So I am aware of my privilege. And so that was the first belief is, can I do this? And then my inner parts, that my childhood wounding, will anyone find me? Like if I'm going to put my profile on Psychology Today, but there's thousands upon thousands of profiles. Will anyone notice me and see my value? So I don't know. I was all over the place with that answer.
No, we share some of the very same things. And me leaving, pharmacy is, again, very financially stable to now not knowing when my paycheck's going to come, but not being fulfilled where you are and not wanting to spend the next 40 years of my life in that same space. So yes. I get that. But the thing you just said, will anyone find you? It's funny. I was the opposite. I was like, what if somebody finds me? Put myself out there. What if they find me? So it's interesting that we had two different dynamics there. But how did you get over the fear of not being found? Like,
I don't know if it was a getting over it. Well, I did. Hold on. Let me pat myself on the back because I did. I thought, now, Tasha, girl, with everything that you have survived, and I've survived so much, I really believed that the universe, all of the angels that protect me were pushing me in this direction. And if I believe that, then I'm not going to fail. And even if I fail in some aspects, I'm going to get back up. I'm going to learn from it and, keep going. So it was all mindset, but also I've been in therapy. So I'm still in therapy. So
it's like therapists need therapists, coaches need coaches.
Yes.
It's kind of the same
thing. Yeah. So I have a therapist that was saying, oh girl, let's work on this inner child stuff. These parts that are so fearful of being seen, fearful of not being seen, fearful of being seen, fearful of not being seen, fearful of failure. Let's work on all of those parts. And that helped tremendously. And I just, I just say it to God, I'm going to just do all the things. And I'm going to learn from other professionals who've already done the thing that I'm trying to do. I'm not the first to open a private practice. I'm not the first to become a therapist. So I joined programs that other therapists have that teach you how to become a business owner. Because I can't just do it from I don't know what I'm doing. So take my money and help me. Don't have me out here looking like a fool.
Right.
So take my money and show me step by step what to do. And so that's how I kind of got over it. So therapy to help the mindset, me believing in myself and believing in my own purpose, but also reaching out to other professionals and paying them to show me how to do what I do.
Yeah, those are great points. those are 3 great points. And you brought up one, with the reaching out and asking for help. I find a lot of us, especially when you're like the high achieving type women who have 5 degrees, it's hard for us to ask for help.
Mm-hmm.
Do you have any thoughts about why that is or how to get over that?
Sure, I can speak from my perspective. Again, I work in what we call internal family systems.
Mm-hmm.
So there's a part that of me, because I am a survivor of childhood trauma. There's a part of me that's like, well, nobody ever helped me before.
Mm-hmm.
When I needed help, when I called for help, nobody was there. Nobody, I was ignored. I'm this little Black girl, and I didn't have a voice. I wasn't giving the permission to speak, or, you're supposed to be seen and not heard, or, something like that. And so I'm not used to reaching out for help and somebody saying, yes, of course, let me send you this, let me do this, or this is what I have to offer. So I'm used to, if I want anything, I have to do it myself.
Mm.
Because I would rather do it myself than to reach out for help and be told no,
Mm-hmm.
or be ignored, or be shamed for it, or made fun of for it, or told, oh girl, you'll be fine, it's okay.
Now that sounds familiar. Like,
Yeah.
okay.
Because in the past, when I would say, well, I'm really lonely, or this is happening, or I'm really afraid. Oh, girl, you're fine.
Mm-hmm.
No, I'm serious. This is what's happening, and minimizing me.
Mm-hmm.
So then I thought, well, I can't really go to you because you're not taking me seriously.
Right.
And so a lot of times it's that inner stuff,
Mm.
because we've been hurt and burned in the past. And so working with that part, and it's often said that those of us who kind of white knuckle it through life, we're just doing it on our own,
Mm-hmm.
that is a trauma response.
Mm.
That's a trauma response. And so addressing that trauma.
Interesting. That is, yeah, the white knuckling, and that I'm thinking of that, like, just in corporate, you do that, and even when you are a small business owner, or your business owner or entrepreneur, you still fall into that same bucket.
Yeah. And as a Black woman, I don't know what the statistics are now, but when I was getting my MSW, the statistics were that just, globally, women of color, and specifically Black women, we are the most educated.
Mm-hmm.
And so we are out here, we're doing all the things. We are fulfilling so many roles. We are taking care of our households.
Mm-hmm.
We're wives, and we're mothers, and we're leaders, and we're going to school, and we're opening business. We're entrepreneurs and writers and podcasters, and doing so many different things. And historically, Black women, we are ignored. We are discounted. Nobody's listening to us. Nobody's watching for us. They're not paying attention to us.
Mm-hmm.
So we're not used to asking for help, even if it's from another Black woman, or another, a Black man. Mm-hmm. We're not used to reaching out and saying, I need. Mm. Because most of the time, we're what everybody else needs. Mm. So sure. Anytime somebody was like, oh, girl, you don't have to do that alone. Let me help you. It was hard to even accept help. I wasn't used to that. You want to help me? Mm-hmm. No, let me pay you for that. You want to help me for free? I've got a couple of people that are like, let me come be your assistant. Let me do something to help.
I'm always like, what's the catch?
Yeah. Yeah. Wait. Yeah, nobody's ever helped me. What do you mean?
Yeah.
I'm 41. I've gone through this life doing it on my own. And now you're telling me I'm at a place where I can get help? Mm-hmm. That's new. I gotta go to therapy for just that. Mm-hmm. That's a new problem.
That's interesting. Because it's funny, I was speaking to somebody not too long ago, and it's in this same vein, but a little bit different, where she had this mentality of she has to be strong. Like, she wasn't happy where she was, but she didn't want to quit because she felt like if she was quitting, then she wasn't this strong woman,
Sure.
So it's in that same vein, and maybe that goes back to trauma. I'm not sure or not, but interesting.
That's so common for us, because in our world, we don't get permission to be weak, to be vulnerable, to be soft, to be ignorant, to just not know the answer. Nobody gives us permission to just be. Every other race, they get to be soft, vulnerable, weak, to not know, to say, this is too hard, can't do it. This is too much. Take care of this for me. We're not afforded that often. At least that wasn't, I'll just speak for me, that wasn't my experience. And so we have to be strong. If we want to do anything, if we want to get anywhere, we have to go, 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 go. And if we want to be taken seriously, get the next degree, get the next job, go after the promotion, do the next thing. I'm going to show you that I'm worth it. Let me put some letters behind my name.
Yeah.
That's still my journey. That's still my journey, is let me show you who I am. I don't know if that resonates or if that makes sense.
No, it does. And even in like, even me as a coach and consultant, you know, even with my 3 degrees, I'm like, I have to go and get a coaching certificate. And people are like, no, you know, I'm like, yes, I do. Yes, I do, because that's what I do. So I feel that, you know, how do you think we can get to a point as women, as Black women, as business owners, all those things, where we are okay with saying, or how do we recognize when we need to be at a stopping point? You know, because sometimes we push and we push and we push. And I know for me, I can push so much and I will know because my body will shut down, you know. But how do we stop before we get to that extreme? Or how do you recognize it's time to stop?
First thing that resonates as I hear you even posing that question to me is checking your motives. What's the motive behind getting the next thing, doing the next thing? Is it fear of missing out? Is it fear of, is there some scarcity? Is there a scarcity mindset that's attached to that? Is it that you're trying to prove your worth and your value to your family, to your friends, to your haters? You know, what is behind that? Is there a part of you that feels unworthy, insignificant? And so challenging your motives, really questioning, what are my motives behind doing this next thing? What is it? Because there's lots of things that people are doing. It's not all for me. And I've got to get clear about that. I'll give you an example. I'm a solo practitioner, so it's just me and my private practice. I can only do but so much, and my practice is full. I can't fit anybody else. And now I'm going to get my doctorate. I've not even spoken that out loud to very many people, so it just kind of has come up and just in thinking, and then I even thought, I'm going to get my doctorate and I'm going to become a coach. How many things are you? And then I want to teach. I want to teach at the college level. And I also want to be a writing coach, and I want to work on my second book and my third book. How many things am I going? That's a lot. And what the heck am I trying to prove? And I was talking to a friend the other night, shout out to strong Black women and just friendship. And she said, Tasha, come on now. Stop it. How much you don't need to be a coach. Everybody's a coach. You don't need to be a coach. I said, that's true. That's really true. Right. No, don't need to do that. And she said, you're already in this other program, the internal family systems, that I'm already in that. Why don't you just calm down? Sure, get your doctor. Fine. Yeah. But you don't need any more clients. You're full. There's only so much time.
Right.
So am I going to have a private practice and do the coaching thing? And how many things? And a lot of people do that, but I can't do it all. And so again, working with that part of me that feels like, well, because I did have this thought, well, I'm a therapist, but everybody's becoming a coach. Maybe I should become a coach, because what happens if nobody ever wants to see a therapist again?
Really?
So much fear, that scarcity mindset, challenging that. There's enough for every person. There's so much money in the world. There's so many resources.
Yeah. You have me in my feelings right now, though. Just to let you know.
Yeah. So, but that's, that's just, so really being clear. I don't have to do all the things.
Yeah.
Yeah. I can rest. I'm allowed to rest.
Yes. So what is your self-care? You're talking about rest. How do you take care of Tasha?
I'm a professional nap taker.
That was not the answer I was expecting.
I believe, I don't know if you follow the nap ministry on social media.
No, I've never even heard of it.
Oh, taking naps, it's holy. It's a holy experience. And I'm so good that I can say to myself, I need a nap. And I can go that couch right there, and I can lay down, take my shoes off, get my little furry blanket, and I can say I'm going to nap for 15 minutes. And I've never used alarm clocks in my life. I don't use alarm clocks. And I can say I'm going to take a nap for 15 minutes, and I will awaken in exactly 15 minutes.
What? Well, okay, first, why don't you use alarm clocks?
I don't need them. I don't need them. I know my body knows, okay, it's time to get up. It's time to, you've gotten enough rest. You're good.
Okay.
And I just, and I'm not a slow, like I need time to, I'm not a huge coffee drinker. We just bought our first coffee maker.
Okay.
I'm 41, just got a coffee maker. I love the taste of it, the smell of it.
I love the
but I
smell
don't need
it. Yeah, I don't need it either. I drink it for warmth and the
yeah.
Like, that's really it.
And so I take naps.
Okay.
I have practiced, because I had toxic relationship habits, because I was the fixer, the caretaker for every person. I now exercise no. No, I can't take that on. No, I can't have that conversation right now. If somebody wants to talk, I don't even have the emotional stamina to meet with you, to talk with you. If it's of a personal nature, because I spend 6 to 7 hours a day using my voice. So I need to rest. And I'll just say, I don't even have the emotional stamina for that. I'm sorry.
Was that something that you had to work on?
Yes.
Is saying no? Okay.
Yeah, because in therapy, I would tell my therapist, she said to me, this was years ago, different therapist. She said, write down everybody that's in your life. And I did, and it was a long list. I knew a lot of people. I just know a whole bunch of people. And I wrote down everybody, and she said, what would happen if you told them no? And I said, they would not talk to me. They would not need me. They would, the relationship would end. That was my fear. Is that they couldn't handle my no. And if I said no, then they would be angry with me. Just so much fear from, again, my childhood. And she said, I want you to practice. Okay. And I did. And some of those relationships, that people that were only in my life for what I could give them, for what I could offer, my money, my time, my advice, my ear, they left. And it's okay. And it hurt, and I cried, and I grieved that relationship. But it also, it just paved the way to have more clarity. And I needed clarity.
Yeah.
And so I practiced no. I have just learned recently how to meditate using the Insight Timer app. And so meditating. Oh, it's wonderful. The Insight Timer.
I meditate, but I've never heard of that timer before.
And I wanted, for me, I
Right.
only wanted to listen to apps that were about Black bodies, Black softness, Black wellness. And
Mm,
that is what I searched in the app.
okay.
So there's groups and meditations specifically for Black women, Black
Hmm.
people.
Insight app. Okay.
That's just what got me into it. So I meditate, I take time, I journal religiously. I
Mm.
believe in that. That is for me the essence, the root, the soul of my creativity as a writer. So my self-care is writing.
Can we pause there for a second?
Mm-hmm.
Because you didn't hit a trigger word with me. Journaling.
Yes.
I'm not good at journaling. And maybe let's talk about journaling from the perspective of, is there a right way to journal?
Mm-hmm. No, you don't have to. You can do journaling by voice, just recording yourself talking. This is what I'm
Mhm.
feeling. This is what I'm thinking. Um, I use journaling to make my list, things that I just need to do, my to-do list. I use journaling as a way to get out um, some of my stuff. My purse isn't near me, or else I'll read one of the meditations that I wrote.
Mm,
Uh, I might just, for me, write, I am safe, I am protected, I am loved, I am enough, I can rest, I
mhm.
can say no, I can receive pleasure, I can give pleasure. I abundance and prosperity belong to me. And
Okay.
that just came, that just, and I'll just journal that
Mm.
because that's what I need in the moment. Does that make sense?
Yeah, no, you said your to-do list is like affirmation list as well. It's like kind of whatever you
It's
need to
it's my
be.
thoughts of, oh my
Right.
goodness, my husband just said the craziest thing and it really got on my nerves. It's whatever I need it to be.
Hmm.
That's what it is. If I'm watching, listening to a podcast, or if I'm watching, I love to watch TD Jakes or Sarah Jakes Roberts.
Hmm.
I think that's her last name. Yeah, that is her last name. And they say something, I'll journal notes. I
Mm.
use journaling for all kinds of things, but I need to get it out.
Gotcha.
And
Gotcha.
there's certain components of, I want to remember this.
Hmm.
So yeah, there's no wrong way.
I asked that question because when we talk about self-care, a lot of people, they have like this one track mind of, I'm going to get a massage and that will
Mhm.
be my self-care. And I think
Mhm.
everybody has to find their own way of self-care. It's self-care. And journaling for me is that same way. It's like I need to figure out how to make it my own, because just sitting down at night and writing
Mhm.
is not
Mhm.
what I do.
Yeah, the other form of self-care that I use is, and I don't really have to do it that much anymore because my life is clear, but I really look at my relationships, the contacts in my phone, in my email, on my social media. And I have curated my life so tightly that I have no toxicity in my life.
Mm,
If it's a social media personality and they activate my nervous system in a way that triggers me in a negative way, like I have a physical reaction of anger, of anxiety, of frustration, delete, unfollow.
mhm,
I don't need that. If there's a person in my life, again, that activates my nervous system or is in my life for the wrong purposes, I can't do it.
yeah,
So my life it's tightly curated.
yeah,
And so that is a form of self-care, getting rid of people, places, and things and ideas that cause you to to suffer in any
yeah,
way.
yeah.
Does that make sense?
No, and it's funny you talk about the phone list. Like I do the same thing to some degree, where I
Mhm.
have to be okay with knowing where relationships are.
Yeah.
Things have changed over the years. They may not be that person to you that they used to be, or you may not be that person to them. And so
Yeah.
being okay with moving on from that relationship. So I completely
Yes.
agree with that.
That is holy self-care.
Yes, 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 yes.
Hmm?
So now you are booked and busy in your practice, which is amazing. And you're a wife and you're still getting degrees. How are you able to not lose it? Or how do you what's I guess let me back up. If you could give one tip on how to stay organized and make sure that things aren't falling through the crack with everything that's going on, what would that be?
So I'm going to shout out something that question. If you would have asked me this question a month ago, I would have been like, I don't know. I have no idea. But I'm going to shout out this organization that I have recently become aware of, and it's a 12-step program. No, I'm not an alcoholic or a substance abuser.
I think I saw this on your IG.
Yes, Under Earners Anonymous. And I haven't posted much about it, but I believe in 12-step programs because of Under Earners Anonymous. The founder and CEO of Black Therapist Rock, Ms. Duran Young, introduced me to Under Earners Anonymous. And so we don't have time today for me to list the symptoms. Please, anybody that's listening, go and look at the symptoms of under earning.
Under earning.
And it deals with mindsets and beliefs that you have, right? And how it's caused you to show up small, or to be stressed out, or to miss your money in any way. So how is it affecting you financially? How is it affecting your life? How is it affecting you to disregard or not work in your purpose, whatever that may be, to not be profitable and abundant? So Under Earners Anonymous is amazing. She introduced that to me, and so I started attending Under Earners Anonymous meetings. Yes, it's a 12-step program. And so when you ask me, how do I not lose it? How do I keep it together? How do I avoid the overwhelm? One of the things about Under Earners is you have to time track. And they speak about a thing that's called time drunkenness. Your cell phone.
I'm loving like the theme here. Like, this is amazing.
Yes. You're on your cell phone and you're just scrolling mindlessly. And before you know it, it's 2 hours, it's 3 hours. And then when you look at I remember I looked at my time, like how much time I was on social media. And at one point it was like an hour and a half a day. But then there's some days where I'm on social media like 3 hours a day. Why? What am I doing? Like, comment.
Down a rabbit hole.
Yeah, down the time drunkenness. And in that time, could I have taken care of some self-care, spend time with my daughter, spend time with my husband, completed some items on my to-do list for my business, worked on some of my goals, sent some emails, reached out to some clients. That's valuable time, and we don't have a lot of time.
Yeah.
And sometimes that time drunkenness is not just because I'm wasting time. Sometimes that is how I formerly managed overwhelm. I'm so overwhelmed. I've got so much to do. I don't know where to start. So I'm just going to scroll on my phone for a while. I'm kind of avoiding all of the stuff, the heaviness of life. So Under Earners Anonymous helps you with all of that, all of it. Inner child stuff, beliefs that you're not enough, fear of asking for help. The whole thing. It's amazing. It's a 12-step program. They have meetings pretty much every day.
That is interesting. I love that. Awesome. Well, thank you for sharing that. You like dropped a lot of websites for us to go check out now and apps, so I appreciate it.
Absolutely.
So as we begin to wrap up, I always say these shows go so quickly. You know, we have to end, unlike any other show, with our Fab Four. So are you open to being a part of the Fab Four? All right.
Yeah. Yes.
It's nothing major. First thing that comes to your head. And that's it. All right, Tasha. What's the strangest food you've ever eaten?
Oreos on top of pepperoni pizza.
Did you come up with that?
I did.
Okay. What?
I wanted chocolate. I wanted something salty. Why not put the cookies on top of the pizza and just eat it together?
Was it good?
Okay. It's all right.
I'm gonna have to look at that. Okay. If you could have a superpower, what would it be?
Fly.
To fly? Where are you gonna fly to?
Anywhere. First. I want to leave Earth. I want to go out into the universe.
Oh, you want to go far, far away.
Yes, I want to see what is out there, what is beyond.
Mm,
Hmm.
gotcha. Are you a
Try to see if I
Trekkie?
can meet Jesus. Like, what you doing? Where you at?
I love it.
Yeah.
All right. If you had to pick a song to represent your life, what would it be?
Oh, that is a hard one. Now my mind is blank, but
Mm,
anything Tasha Cobb Leonard.
okay.
Um, yeah.
Okay.
And the song titles aren't even coming to me right now.
That's okay.
Anything Lizzo mixed with that. Yeah. Not anything, but yeah.
Okay. All right. Finish the last statement. I am.
So freaking beautiful.
I love that.
Yeah.
Yes, inside and out.
Yeah. I believe that in a real way. There
Yes,
were so many times in my life as a little Black girl, I didn't believe that. I believe that today.
that's awesome. Awesome. Well, Tasha, thank you so much for being here with us. If people want to follow you on social media, I think you're more of an Instagram person, right?
Yeah, I don't love Facebook, so don't find me on Facebook. If you want to find me on Instagram at Tasha Hunter LCSW.
Okay. Are you on LinkedIn or just Instagram?
I'm on LinkedIn, but the profile is weak.
Gotcha. Okay. So find Tasha on Instagram.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. And is it okay to talk about my book a little bit?
Yes, 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 yes.
Yeah. So and I wrote a memoir about my history of childhood trauma. You can find it on Amazon. It's called What Children Remember.
Yes. Find her book, follow her on IG, and yeah, just keep tabs on her. And thank you all. Thank you, Tasha, for being here. Thank you all for watching. As always, if you haven't checked us out on other platforms, we're on Spotify, Apple, and YouTube. Be sure to like and subscribe. And until next time, thank you guys. Bye.
Bye.